Hey guys, Lydia coming to you from the treadmill, of course. So I'm about just over 2 weeks into my cut. Not preparing for a show, but just kind of leaning out for next spring. Planning on doing a photo shoot, attending the Arnold Sports Festival, making a few contacts. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about, there's a lot of emails I get, and people, they want help and they want me to help them, and I think it's great to, message your idols, and I think it's inspiring. I mean, I did the same thing. But, what it really comes down to is any athlete who's, not a coach themselves, they can't really help you in just one or two or even 3 emails. Everybody's body's different. Everyone's starting in a different spot. Some of you maybe not be eating too, a whole lot, and basically you would have to start reverse dieting rather than dieting down in order to get in shape. And it's hard to understand that on your own. It took me years to understand that. So I just wanted to record a quick video for you guys. It's probably the first time for a lot of you all to hear my voice. I have a couple other videos on my YouTube channel that I posted, but the thing I can't stress enough is, even the pros out there are working with a coach, somebody to keep them on track, because even though they know what to do, they know what needs to be done, and they've done it a million times. It's hard to keep that discipline all the time, especially with the pressure of a show, all the time. And for those of you watching this and just feel like you're lost and you just don't know what to do, I've been there, we've all been there. But the thing is, sitting around and thinking about it, if you're not sure, and reading about it, is not going to get you anywhere. The biggest thing is people come to me and they say, well, I don't have the funds, I have kids, or, I'm trying to pay for school, or I got loans. Well, I got loans myself. I just finished paying off my car last year, and this is while I was training. Needless to say, I wasn't doing any spectacular vacations. I think the farthest I went was probably the distance for my show, which was, I don't know, probably northern Maryland somewhere, or maybe even Towson. Which, yeah, it's pretty sad. I haven't seen a beach in about 4 years. But this rest of the year, I had a lot of time to reflect, and just taking a little bit of time off, and, learning how to deal with that balance and not to go too crazy. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So, I kind of want to start doing these regularly, because I get a lot of, just mostly questions on, how I stay motivated, stay on track. And before I started, before I even got back on track and got into this cut, I was in another, gutter, and, part of me didn't want to let go of what I was eating. I put on 30 pounds of fat because I wasn't training. During the time I was, I was suffering from panic disorder and hypoglycemia. I knew I was going to put on fat, but, it's just, you always have a chance to fix the outside, but not always the inside. So, for those of you who are kind of lost, and maybe not even lost, but just you can't wrap your mind around what you want to do, but you know what you want to do, I'm telling you, hire a coach. There's even, I don't want to say they're cheap, but there's cheaper ones out there, and do your research. That a lot of them do free consultations online. Talk to them about your goals. First, figure out what you want, and they're there every step of the way. It basically takes your mind right out of the game, and that's exactly what I need to do. I can't let myself really control my diet, because maybe a lot of you can relate. After going through a dramatic weight loss, and maybe some of you have competed, and your mind's just a little bit messy, and you don't really know what you should be doing, and you don't really know what you want either. So, You know, I just signed up with a brand new coach, and he's been great so far, and I check in with him every single day. So, I mean, if any of you guys need recommendations, I've worked with a couple different coaches, and I know of some good coaches. But it just breaks my heart to see people who are stuck. And I just get so many emails, and I don't know what to say, because they just want me to shoot them diets, and there's no way I can lay out anything for you if I don't know how you're training, what you're eating, you know, how much you're eating, when you're eating. I mean, honestly, if you ask yourself, you know, what did you eat yesterday? How many calories? What did you eat at, you know, what was your second meal? What was your third meal? How many carbs? Honestly, if you can't give yourself that kind of information right off the bat, right off the top of your head, that's your first mistake. So if you begin working with anybody, you know, the first thing any coach is going to ask you is they want to know what you're eating, and they want to see it written down, and the amount of carbs, tablespoons, whatever, ounces, grams, or whatever. You know, I even weigh my vegetables even in the off season. So, you know, if you guys take away anything from this, it's just, you don't sit around and waste time, because that's all you're doing. I want you, I mean, it literally takes, as soon as I figure out what I need to do, I literally do it the next day or that night. You know, when I realized that I wasn't getting anywhere with my previous coach, it just wasn't working. You know, he was great, but I was having issues with that in-between time, checking in just once a week. You know, I was struggling. And to have someone there, you know, all the time made a big difference. And you can't always think about it as the money, you know. So, you know, if you have any questions, if you guys want some recommendations, I'd be happy to help you out. You know, I'm working on my certification right now, but it'll be a while before I can start working with any of you guys. And I know I have some people waiting for me. So, just finishing up some cardio. You know, feel free to follow me as I diet down. And if it gives you some motivation, you know, I'm doing this for you guys. You know, you saw me. You know, everyone followed me on Facebook, saw what I went through. You know, I was down and out. I was literally a different person for a good half of the year. And for me, it just wasn't a matter of if, you know, I come back to doing this. It was a matter of when, you know, and that's all it is now. All these delays, maybe setbacks, delays, but you know, the hardest battle is the very first one. And as soon as you trump that, you know, it's the grind that makes it enjoyable. You know, if it was so easy, wouldn't you get bored? So feel free to come back. I'll start doing some of these regularly, especially as cardio begins to climb. But I look forward to hearing from you guys, and you know, if you need some mental support, if you need some mental support, you know, I'm always on the other side of that click button on Facebook. So I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Ciao.